Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Report. For Randall Riley, I'm Joshua Miller. Now if you like our report, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the Weekly Report or any of our other great driver recruiting content. Great content like the new Digging Deeper covering TikTok that I've been telling you about for the past couple weeks. That episode is now available on our Randall Riley site and on our YouTube channel. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. I'll leave some links for you below and I'll probably have something around here too. Now, enough about that. Let's get to why you're here. Let's get to this week's report. This week in job board searches and clicks. Searches were down all the way around and clicks were all up. First, searches. We saw declines of 3% week over week, 10% month over month, and 2% year over year. Clicks saw gains of 11% week over week and 35% increases for both the month over month and year over year totals. With all that green for clicks, it may not surprise you to find out that click activity rose to the highest level since week 7, which, if you're keeping score, was in late February. This week in freight. Total load postings fell by 7% week over week, and the totals for all three major segments declined. Dry van load volumes were down 11%. Refrigerated was down 15%, and flatbed fell by 5% week over week. The overall truck availability was also trending down as the availability declined by 10%, with the overall load-to-truck ratio increasing just slightly. And finally, we come to spot rates, which continues this week's trend of declines. Overall rates were down 2 cents per mile week over week, and the rates for all three segments fell as well. Dry van was down 3 cents, refrigerated down 11 cents, and flatbed rates dropped by 1/2 cent per mile week over week. Before moving on, remember that the CVSA Road Check event is this week. In fact, it started yesterday and will run through tomorrow. This year's event focuses on wheel ends, and with the added scrutiny and inspections, we can expect the spot market to be majorly affected, so don't be surprised with next week's rates and volume. Now, the story of the week. If your fleet's trucks aren't utilizing multiple cameras, you could be putting your drivers at risk. Many fleets are starting to adopt multi-camera technology as the data shows that their use can significantly reduce accidents. Dash and backup cameras are great, but there are a growing number of options available for cameras to be mounted in areas to give vision around the entirety of the truck. These extra cameras can be mounted on the front, sides, and back of a tractor trailer. Right around 40% of all large truck accidents are related to lane changes. Multicam technology such as left and right blind spot cameras can help reduce these risks. In addition to helping drivers travel more safely, the insurance companies are interested in the technology as well. These companies cite the aforementioned accident reduction and the ability to reconstruct exactly what happened during an accident as major advantages with the technology. When involved in an accident, police cite commercial drivers as being the party at fault the majority of the time. However, when the driver is cited for being at fault, they are eventually found to not be at fault, are you ready for this? An amazing 85% of the time. That means there are a lot of good drivers out there being hampered by a long and drawn-out process for accidents they weren't even responsible for. Without easily accessible and readily available video evidence, however, there's really no way of speeding up this time-consuming and sometimes costly process. Drivers may even be suspended until the whole thing is sorted out, which, as you can imagine, could impact pay and ultimately, because of that, your driver retention. Though these multi-camera systems are gaining traction with some fleets, it can be difficult to adopt as the cameras are mounted to the trailers themselves and most fleets are not matched with the same trailer all the time. That means cables would need to be connected and disconnected regularly when attaching to a new trailer. However, it is worth noting that the wireless options are currently being pursued and developed. And that's it for this week's report. You can view and download a PDF copy of all the information we covered today down below in the description on YouTube or in the body of the page on our Randall Riley site. We look forward to you joining us again next week as we take another look back to help you move forward. And until then, have a great week, everybody.